Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you watched my video with Deb about positive thinking, but today, my daily video is about fundamentals, and your dreams will come true if you master the fundamentals of real estate. Now, I've gone over this many times. But why do I keep on going over these things? Because repetition and reminding gets you to where you want to be. Repetition is everything. Prospecting, communication, working with buyers, working with sellers, negotiations, repetition. You only get better when you keep on doing it, and you only remember things and see the importance of things when you keep on you put them in front of you and remind yourself. And I'm here to help remind you of some things to think about fundamentals. I got about 7 things on my list of things here, of things to think about the fundamentals. I know every time I think about this topic and talk about fundamentals, I always think about sports. I'm going to use some analogies there. There's the fundamentals of what you have to do in certain things, just in sports. There's fundamental. You have to, in football, you have to get first downs. You have 4 downs to get a first down. You don't get a first down, you don't have the fundamentals and how to get first downs, you're not going to get anywhere, right? You have to score points. You have to get into the end zone. You got to score or kick a field goal. You have to defend when you're on defense. There's fundamentals that you have to do to be successful and win a football game, have a winning season, get to the Super Bowl, and being successful. Same with real estate. There's certain things that you need to do, and I'll go over a little bit of those, and certain things to think about that you'll try to master these fundamentals without bettering yourself in all of these areas, or having these on your mind, at least unconsciously or consciously, that you have to be thinking about these, that you're not going to get better. And I know you might not think of these things every day, and the successful agents don't. They just do it. Just like the successful athletes, they just go and do. They don't think about it. They go, I do. It's like muscle memory. They're doing these things every day. They're not thinking about it. They just do. So when you can get to that point, even better. So here's a couple of things, 7 things to think about. 1, first, you have to have a clear vision of where you're going. Long-term goal, like a football team, an NFL team, long-term goal, want to get to the Super Bowl. That's at the end of the season if you had a good season and you won the games you needed to win. And then the clear vision of what you have to accomplish every day. 2 is you have to have strong goals. You can't have little goals again, compared to football, you have to have the strong goals that we have to beat out the other team. If you just have a goal like, hey, I'm going to just score 3, our goal is 3 touchdowns a game. Well, what happens if the other team scores 4? So in real estate, you have to have strong goals and get better at them. You can't just say, I'm going to make 2 calls a day and want to be successful. If you don't hit your mark of sales, or your daily tasks, your weekly tasks, your monthly tasks, you're going to have strong goals and move that goal. Like example, what I'm trying to connect to is that if your goal, last week, the Browns might have scored 3 touchdowns and lost the game, and then this week they scored 4 touchdowns and won the game, or next week they might score only 2. So they have to make sure their goals, daily goals, are adjusted to what they have to do. Example, if in your goals, you can't make your goal every day. One of your goals should be making appointments every day. It might take 5 calls. It might take 20 calls. It might take 100 calls. You want 5 appointments a day to talk to future buyers or sellers about real estate and their needs, and sit down or over the phone or have a serious conversation with them. You have to adjust your daily goals. Well, I need that many. I can't have the goal of, again, compared to calls to touchdowns. I can't just say I'm going to call 10 people today. That's a good goal. Just like a football team can't say we're just going to score 2 touchdowns today, but that might win. That might not win the game. You might make 10 calls today. If you didn't get a hold of anybody, again, it's positive, just like 2 touchdowns is a positive thing, but your goal is to win the day, win the game today, to get appointments. Number 3, mindset. You got to have the mindset. We see this all the time. Example, I'm sticking with it. Sorry, with football. Why is it that their home field advantage is always a better? Why is that an advantage? Why is a home field advantage? My opinion is that because of the feel for it. They feel comfortable. They have the better mindset, that they're comfortable in their field, their own stadium, their field, their people, their fans, and it helps them with their mindset. That's why most teams, their home record is better than their away record. It's my opinion. That's all about comfort. It's all about mindset. 4, you got to think about your skill sets, like is all of your skill sets of negotiations, of your scripts, and how you're handling interaction with people, your skill set in selling and communicating with people. And that brings us technically to the next number 5 is communication skills. That's number 1. Keep that top of mind. If you're not communicating with people, you are not going to get ahead in real estate. Example, if you are in football, if you're spending all your time on defense, comparing that to if you're spending all of your time dealing with clients that you have now, you're not on offense. Offense to me is you are reaching out and being proactive with your day. Defense to me is spending time with what you're working on now. You're being reactive. People are calling you because you have a pending deal, title companies, inspectors, lenders. If you're dealing with anybody that on transactions that you already have signed up, that is defense. If you're spending 99% of your time on defense, you're not going to score any more points and get new customers. You have to spend more time on offense than you do on defense, but you got to be on defense. You have to have a strong defense, right? You have to have the skills to handle the transactions once they're in, after negotiation, and if there's an inspection, and negotiating if there's things that need to be done, and being the quarterback, so to say, of the whole transaction. Make sure your buyers are going to have, or sellers, have a smooth transaction, and organize everybody. Sorry, I'm sticking with the football analogy here. Didn't think I was, but I'm going with it. But so you have to have that skill set, and communication is one of them. Number 6 is being controlling your schedule or your playbook. Your playbook is your plays. Your schedule is basically your playbook of day-to-day stuff. And guess what happens? I said you have to be able to adjust things. Now, there are certain plays every week with the Browns. There's certain plays they know they're going to run and try and see which ones work and how it's working. And they're going to react to the defense and change those plays around. Now, some of us might just not, the Browns fanatics will say Stefanski has way too many plays and too much of a schedule. Not going into that. You could send me a text and we could discuss that later. But you have to have control of your schedule. If you don't have a schedule, if you wake up every morning, there's nothing in there, what plays do you have? You're just winging it. You're just winging it. Your schedule should be in place. You should have a playbook and a schedule. And if you don't master that of when you're going to do things, when you're going to do it, like, am I going to run this play here? Am I going to prospect in the morning? Am I prospecting in the afternoon today? And what am I what are my strengths this day? You know, it sounds funny, but also there's different times of running different plays in real estate. What I mean by that, right now, holiday season, this is the best time to contact as many people as possible, wishing them a happy holidays. This is when you should be running the ball. You should be you're on the phone more between Thanksgiving and New Year's than any other time. But sometimes agents don't take advantage. This is a perfect time to connect with every single person you've ever met, that you've ever talked to, that's in your database, that you know their number, they're in your phone, just to say hello. Not even about real estate, just getting your name and number in front of them. But this is a better time to run this play than certain times of the year. Like, example, going back to school. When I coach agents, going back that couple of weeks, why is travel everybody, is, especially obviously with kids, it's a bad time to call people because they're so busy with the getting the kids ready. They're into summer stuff, ready for school. My opinion from years of experience, what time of year is better to communicate with people. Number 7 and last is the discipline to do all of this consistently every day for the rest of your career, right? Consistently do this every day for the rest of your, obviously you could have days off, but any good football team is practicing more than they're playing and practicing more than they're resting, right? That's the way it works. So you have to be the same thing. You got to work more days than you're off. You got to practice more than you're actually playing. I mean, you got to talk to and communicate and prospect with way more buyers than you're ever going to get. You can't just say, I'm going to talk to 5 people and get 5 buyers, talk to 10 people, get 10 sellers this year. That's it. No, it's a numbers game. You have to do more to get the actual numbers where you want it to be. So those are the 7 things to think about that I've always have in the back of my mind. This is when I'm coaching agents every day. I'm saying these things over and over, repetition over and over and over again. So if you need this list, I'm happy to text it to you so you have it on your phone and make notes of it, or write them down, go back through my video again. But you don't have to listen to me again. I'll send you this list of things that you gotta remember. You gotta remember that you gotta do. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching on December 1st, the first of the month and last month of the year 2022. So make this last month matter and make it count. So that's it. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.